Three, two, one, roll film. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining again today. We're going to go ahead and do the reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for mid-month August to mid-month September, or whenever this period in particular resonates with you. So thanks so much for joining. If you like what you see here on this channel, please give it a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your energies, please feel free to reach out to me in the information provided in the description box below. I am forcing myself today to get on that website. No excuses. Okay. What we're going to do before we get started, just to introduce, we're going to work with the Moonology Oracle deck. We're going to work with the Nightmare Before Christmas as clarifiers, and then good old trusty dusty Rider-Waite Smith deck as the main reading. Before we get started, also, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the astrological transits. I'm going to do my best to at least incorporate 3 of these into some of the readings, so that way we have a kind of meteorological forecast for what's taking place within the heavens at this moment. First, we have Mercury retrograde in Leo, which is kicked off on the 12th of August. And, this is normally associated with failing technology, people returning from the past, situations returning from the past that seek clarity or resolution. And then additionally, it can also, be interpreted as having a bit of faulty logic or, jumbling your words and such like that. For some reason, it's not affecting me this time. Touch wood. But in other cases, depending on when it happens, it can be a bit of a doozy. So, that said, we're going to go ahead and get into this. We're also looking at additionally Venus in Virgo. That's going to take place, I think, on the 29th of August. Don't quote me. And we also have Mars in Gemini leading up to September 4th. Also, please don't quote me on that one. We do also have a Jupiter. We have a hard aspect to Jupiter and Saturn, which is going to cause a little bit of issues. And I think that's going to make it a bit difficult to know when to expand, when to grow, when to contract, pull back, put boundaries. And so being able to discern between that push-pull, moving forward or backwards, is going to, enter into a lot of people's lives, especially when it comes to, I would even say like their financial dealings, I would say. But let's get on to it. That's your meteorological forecast for today. And here's back to the news. Let's go ahead and get started with the Rider-Waite. We're going to do a short Celtic cross for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the mid-month. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, mid-month. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, mid-monthlies. Get into number 6. Restoring balance, harmony to your life. And additionally, going to see the beauty in all things. Number 6 popped into my head, so I'm rambling about that. Let's see if the rambling pays off. Current energy for Aquarius. Okay. Okay. 9 of Swords, that is your energy. What's the challenge? Emperor in the reverse. Okay, we're gonna... Aquarius, come on now. Recent past. Recent past. Near future. All right. What's that? The core of this reading? No, oh my God, come on. Aquarius, 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 we need to gonna have a talk. What's that? The crown of this reading. Ah, okay. What's the likely outcome? All right, Aquarius. Let's this is gonna be one of those heavy readings. Libra's reading was very heavy, and that's the reason why I had to take a break. If you have Libra in your chart as well, this reading is for you. We're gonna get through this. I'm gonna push through, and then after that, I'm gonna go smoothie or cigarette. Jesus Christ. Okay, bottom of the deck, Hermit in reverse, which a lot of people can say that that's about someone popping back up and, resurfacing or getting back out there. It can be, but in this context, what I see is a person who has not been able to go inwards in order to learn the lessons of illumination that are important to their spiritual development. And what we need to understand in this context is that with a lot of the mental activity that we see going on in this reading, what we're finding is that this Aquarius that I'm reading for right now is struggling with issues of control, self control, as well as control in situations. We're going to clarify some of these readings. Why does Aquarius feel Five of Pentacles? Why does Aquarius feel Five of Pentacles? Okay. Words are not even wanting to shuffle. Jesus. Come on. Right. Okay. I'm getting some weird energy off of Aquarius's reading. So why the Five of Pentacles? Why the Five of Pentacles? Okay. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Hermit. Okay. Let's take a step back from this. Let's figure this out. That's for the outcome. I'm going to pull one for the signifier of this reading. What is the signifier for this reading? What is the signifier for this reading? God. Power. Oh, God. Help me get through this reading. Clarify the tower for Aquarius. Fucking hell. Okay, so here we go. All right. Clarifying the tower is full world in the reverse again in the King of Pentacles. Okay, so you had a hope dashed about trying to resurrect something with someone because you feel that there's an incomplete cycle. With the signifier here, we have the tower. The tower is about faulty foundations. And when you have two people involved in a situation, whether that's a work situation or a marriage, you have one person being thrown out and then, on their own free will, they've physically jumped from the tower. And then there's another that's actually fallen out because they've been forced to. And I'm getting that you're the person on the right because with this tower, I mean, you had a relationship or a business situation where you had a faulty foundation for it, and eventually that foundation came crumbling down. Maybe something shocking happened in your life. You were forced to divorce. You were forced to leave a situation. You were fired. You were, laid off. And what happened? Or maybe you realized some uncomfortable truths about the environment you were in at the time. So what I'm getting from this, yeah, the Fool, the World Reverse, and then you have the King of Pentacles. This is Earth and Air energy. Your energy has showed up here as the Fool in this signifier, which talks about taking a leap forward, going back to a blank slate, tabula rasa. This is what they have said is the soul's energy. I think Austin Tarot has mentioned that quite a bit, where he talks about the Fool is kind of like the energy of the soul on a blank slate, getting ready to enter into the journey itself. So the problem is that when we have this world in the reverse, it means that you haven't completed a cycle that took place in the past. And what this signifies is that you have revisited something from the past, which needs to be closed out. And with the King of Pentacles here, maybe this has to do with the King of Pentacles, someone who has a lot of wealth, status, who has built up a foundation for themselves, and yet the foundation in the relationship has been torn to shreds. So we have the Aquarius energy, and then we also have the King of Pentacles energy. This can be taken two ways. You tried to build a foundation for yourself monetarily, and that came crashing down. Or B, you tried to re-enter a cycle with someone, and that came crashing down. You may have gone back to an ex. You may have gone back to an old lover, an old flame. And unfortunately, doing so has reminded you why that relationship dissolved in the past to begin with. We're going to go ahead and get through this. So now you have the Nine of Swords as your energy as it stands right now. And what this signifies, what this talks about, I'll try to use some synonyms for the words that I use normally. They're lying around there somewhere. I just need to fish it out of my brain. So what we do, we talk about the Nine of Swords. That is your energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, where you are in some mental conflict and strife. And the challenge for that is being able to take control of your life again. The challenge of that could also be an Emperor, an Aries, that is involved in your life in some capacity. So we have with the major arcana, we have Capricorn, Aries, we have Scorpio, Aries again, we have Libra, and then we have Aquarius. So this is an Aquarius, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, Scorpio, Virgo here as well. So any of those signs ring a bell in this reading, then this reading is for you. So we move into the fact that because of this Aries being the challenge, why does this Aries cause Nine of Swords energy for the Aquarius? I'm under the impression that why is this Aries causing such mental conflict? King of Cups in the reverse. So what this talks about is one of two things. Either the Aries was emotionally detached from the relationship, they disconnected, or they were emotionally manipulative. The King of Cups in the reverse, what that talks about is a person who is not emotionally mature enough to wield their energy, or they do it with power and authority, but in the wrong ways. So it's emotionally gaslighting, blackmailing, belittling. Either you or they did that to the other person. And this has caused a lot of this emotional chaos that in conflict that you're feeling. Since this is your reading, I'm going to assume that this person did it to you as they are the challenge in your life as it stands. And so looking at this, you have in the past the Two of Wands. This is about, hold on a second. Holy shit. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands, which talks about a decision, a choice, planning, making a strategy to move forward. Um, and when I clarified that, we got the Seven of Swords in the reverse, Two of Pentacles, and then the Emperor again. You are planning your life around around this Emperor. When this Emperor detached, you are trying to find a strategy as to how to get them to remain into your life. Seven of Swords in the reverse. This is guilt, self-sabotage, things of that nature, which then leads to a Two of Pentacles moment, which is about juggling and balancing out the different aspects of your physical life, possibly the details regarding finances and so on. And once again, the Emperor has shown their face in this reading. So this is about this Emperor figure. They are in Aries. This is definitely an Aries that you're dealing with, because their energy is permeating your reading, which also insinuates to me that you have this person's energy so far into your own that you have not been able to separate them yet from your own personal identity. We're just going to call a spade on that. I'm not going to bullshit you in any way, shape, or form. I personally don't really have the um, emotional bandwidth to bullshit people, so I'm not going to do it. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Clarify the Page of Swords. Okay. Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Cups in the reverse. So in the near future, we have the Page of Swords, which is you sending and communicating. I see, since this is the Seven of Wands, you're communicating about something that you feel passionate about and that you want to stand up for. And additionally, this Knight of Pentacles is about making slow and steady progress towards something. And the Nine of Cups in the reverse, though, that's the problem that I'm seeing here. You've got two nines here. Nine of Swords, Nine of Cups in the reverse. Then you've got the number 9, which is the Hermit, which is, well, we'll get to that in a bit, because that's the outcome. We talk about a person who is communicating with someone to stand up and defend something that they've worked hard for over the years. So this could be a long-term relationship where bit by bit you've built something up, and that and after the disconnect, you're trying to put back together. But because this Nine of Cups is in the reverse, this is not a wish fulfillment. This is emotional codependence. And again, I said I would not bullshit you on this. Now, I've come up with this in many of the readings that you have thought about, I mean, that I've done on this channel multiple times. And in every single Aquarius reading, what I find is someone fighting for something that they need to let go of. So if you're the Aquarius that I'm speaking to, if it's either you or someone that you're dealing with that needs to let go of the bond that they have to the other person, this needs to happen. Because when I read these and this continues to pop up, what this shows me is that one or the other person has refused to do the work and is in fact putting all their time, energy, and resources into prolonging the pain that they're experiencing through this one-sided relationship. And so if this is you, it's time for you to cut bait and quit wasting time with your life. Aquarians, I have a few Aquarian friends. I love them to bits. They're great people, very intellectually stimulating, and they have a lot of great ideas. They function in a very scientific mind, but in the inverse of that, this is the person who becomes rigid and inflexible, and they insist on being right, considering that they could be wrong. And they'll defend those ideas with either a grim obsession or with a tyrannical approach to trying to manifest those things. So it's a person who's like, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck off. Or it's a person that's like, I don't care what you say, I love them still. They will hold on. They will refuse to sacrifice their ego for the great lesson that they need to learn. And this is only generally speaking about Aquarians, not necessarily the Aquarians I'm speaking about as my friends. But the nature of the Aquarian mind in the stereotypical fashion of how it manifests in the negative. The only thing that can defeat an Aquarian is a tower moment. And that's only if they're willing to learn the lesson from that. Now, we haven't got the Hierophant, but we do have the tower. And the tower comes before the star. So we have the Fool, which is already here. That's the manifestation of Aries again, or Aquarius. 3 Aries cards. 3. The World twice in the reverse. Aries, Capricorn, Virgo. That is who you're dealing with. And then that tower right there is Scorpio and Aries again. There is so much Aryan energy. There needs to be a new start. And I think that's one of the lessons that's permeating through this reading. The Fool, 4 Aries cards, more Wands cards. There needs to be a new start in your life. It needs to happen by letting go and not holding on to. Page of Swords here in the future with these 3 cards tells me that there's a person here who needs to learn a painful truth about how they defend the wrong things in their life. They're willing to stand up for everyone but themselves. And that is not cool when it comes to conducting your life on a practical level. It's like being a rebel, not without a cause, but a rebel with the wrong cause. It's a person who's willing to stand up for things that really don't stand up for them. Have you ever seen that one sycophant in an organization or a job? They're yes people until they're fired. And then they become like the guy that, you know, burns down the post office or does something really awful. Um, you can be a sycophant for someone until that person disposes of you, and then your world is rocked. Now, in the Libra reading, because we have justice in the reverse here, you feel at the very core of what you've experienced. This is unfair, unbalanced, one sided. There's no karmic justice, no retribution. I'm going to clarify this Libra card, this justice in the reverse. Clarify justice in the reverse. So these are 8 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. All right. If this was a work situation, you feel that you have been grievously wronged in this situation and you're trying to get your job back. 8 of Pentacles means a lot of hard work and effort. The 10 of Pentacles meaning the legacy and the career that you have tried to manifest. Because that's clarifying the justice card in the reverse, you have felt that you have been utterly unfairly treated in this work situation. Now, if this is a business situation, because sometimes the emperor can be a boss. So if your boss screwed you over, then of course that would also explain it. If this is a relationship, you have felt that you have worked really hard to manifest this marriage, this relationship, this long-term relationship. The 10 of Pentacles, however, is not the 10 of Cups. So it's not a relationship where people were actually happy. It's a relationship where on the exterior, what you had are 2 people who had a lot of wealth, a lot of status. You look good together. People gave you compliments. But when it all comes to it, when the lights go out, you're not really that happy with each other. I mean, it's like you are a quality asset to me. The relationship is stable, grounded, firm. But is it happy? No. There are no cup cards here at all on this on this table. Save for the Nine of Cups in the reverse, which is not good, and the King of Cups in the reverse, which is also not good. Everything here is pentacles, earth energy, fire energy. So it's passion, and it's about accumulation of wealth and resources. And that was the foundation that you laid for this relationship, which has led to this faulty tower. And you realize, I mean, you know this, but the Aquarian shadow side, we speak on this channel about Jungian concepts, the shadow, integrating the shadow into yourself so that you can overcome it. This is not a shadow that you've overcome. This is a shadow that you're feeding with more shadow. Um, let's clarify the, the world in the reverse. I'm starting to get tired. Good Lord. Clarify the world in the reverse. Clarify the world in, oh, God almighty. World in reverse. So you have the judgment. You have the ace of swords in the reverse. The three of wands in the reverse. Judgment. The reason why this cycle has not closed out, and this is what you know, because it's in the crown shop, is in the crown position. You're unable to move on. You're unable to actually level up and move forward with your life because you're not communicating to yourself that your ships are not coming in. The judgment has been made. The universe has slammed the door on this cycle, but you're trying to kick the door down, as Rich Lop says. Sometimes when you try to kick the door down, you just end up hurting yourself in the end. You break your foot, um, you become exhausted and tired, and the only thing that you'll feel is that this is a completely unfair situation. The world in the reverse talks also about a celebration of sorts. Like the Ten of Pentacles energy here, which is the minor arcana expression of the world, in my opinion, because it's the materialization of the physical world, the world being physical, Earth, Capricorn. It's the material manifestation of that thing. Also, the card number 10, the 10th house is also Capricorn, which represents the external appearance and the manifestation of what you've worked hard for. And the world is two tens. Let me double check that. No, the world is 21. So that's that. I'm going to make sure I clarify that. The world in this situation is kind of like the upper echelon, the apotheosis of the Ten of Pentacles on a major arcana scale. Now, the judgment comes before, that's 20, and then this moves into the world, which is 21. The world is judgment. That is the universe stepping in and making something happen. So if the universe stepped in and created that tower moment, which is the signifier for this entire reading, your ships are not going to come in. The thing that you're trying to manifest is not going to come in. You have to let it go. You have to communicate this self. You have to communicate this to yourself. Ace of Swords in the reverse can also be an internal realization. This is what needs to happen. But the Ace of Swords in the reverse can also be refusing to acknowledge a painful truth. Maybe in the future, that's what you're going to have to start doing. What I don't like about this reading is that in the future, what you have here is the Five of Pentacles clarified by the Six of Pentacles in the reverse and the Hermit. for this Aquarian that I'm reading for, or if it's for their significant other or company or whatever, you're going to remain this Five of Pentacles energy. And you're going to refuse to give to anything else, and you're just going to remain in kind of solitary confinement. This combination right here shows me on the material side of things, because all three of these are earth signs. Virgo, both of these are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. In the material world, if you do not rectify this, you can expect yourself to experience a sense of financial lack and difficulty accepting help from the outside world. So rather than addressing the issue, which is I need to go back to this Aries, Virgo, Capricorn person, I'm going to instead close off, ignore the outside world, and throw the biggest pity party that Times Square has ever seen, or that Piccadilly Circus has ever seen, and just stay within my sadness, alone, isolated. This reading to me, and I'm hoping that I've gotten something wrong on it. Please let me know in the comments below how this applies, because this is a general reading for a wide group of Aquarians. So it can apply reverse, like, so you have to take the energies as they resonate if it's you or the other person, or maybe it's a painful truth that will come to fruition in the near future over this period from mid-August to mid-September. This has shown up in the readings I've done since I've been reading on YouTube. And I think I don't want to quote the Booty Warrior when I'd say this, but it's like, we can do this the easy way or we can do the hard way. The choice is yours. When we deal with this. I don't know. The Booty Warrior is starting to become my animal totem a little bit, in the sense that you know, life is very difficult. Sometimes we need to learn those painful lessons, no pun intended. God, I really don't want to get flagged on YouTube for saying this, but um, that's kind of how Saturn works. Saturn being also the world card. In the reverse, you can level up. You can do this the easy way or you can do this the hard way. The choice is yours. That's what they're telling you, Aquarius. In order for you to level up, Saturn is rearing its ugly head, and it's saying that we're going to create this tower moment in your life if you refuse to acknowledge that your growth is stymied by fixating on this one thing, fixating on something that you feel you put a lot of work and energy and effort into. And by focusing on the unfairness of that, because Aquarians focus on the ideal rather than the real, then other signs, in fact, the Aquarius is Capricorn moving into the intellectual sphere, the air sphere. So it's fixed, rigid ideas about things, and it's about rebelling against the established order of the Capricorn, the government level, the outside world, and things. It's more like your organizations and institutions at the grassroots level, compared to Capricorn, which is the global institutions, the large corporations, big business, things, that the rigid fixed structures. Aquarius seeks to destroy those, but it still carries that fixed Saturn energy, for the simple reason that in the traditional tarot, especially the Vedic astrology, Saturn ruled both Aquarius and Capricorn. So until they incorporated Uranus in there, it was always associated with Saturn. And in essence, that's what it is. It's fixed energy. So what we're going to do to wrap this up, we're just going to pull a quick message because I've waffled enough and I am going to need another coffee after this because, good God, my energy is low reading this. Aquarius and Libra, for God's sakes, pull it together. What message or advice do we have for our Aquarians? Two more. Two more. One more. Okay. All right. Final countdown. I don't know what song's popping into my head right now. Look at the bigger picture. So again, if I can explain it to people, my natal birth time, by natal birth time, I am a Sagittarius ascendant. I'm like the Joker in many aspects. And I've been looking at a lot of videos from the Joker, from The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, from The Dark Knight, and even from previous performances, even Joaquin Phoenix's performance for the Joker. And I'm channeling that energy a lot in my life more now these days because I understand that that Sagittarian energy that the Joker embodies, being positive, looking on the bright side, despite all of the chaos of the previous sign, Scorpio, which shows the tower. Sagittarius is kind of like what comes after that tower, which is kind of getting your balance and getting back on foot. But additionally, being able to laugh in the face of danger. Look at the bigger picture of this. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is all about expansion and higher ideals and values and principles on the fire level. Unlike the Aquarius, which looks at it on the intellectual level and between societies and the way they're structured and organized. The Sagittarius looks at the big print, the big principles, ideas. Um, this is more like your religious institutions. This is more like your inspiration to be able to tackle life and keep moving forward. Try to channel that more. That's what I'm getting in this kind of advice reading right here. Look at the bigger picture of your life instead of focusing on this infinitesimal one little thing, which is something from the past which the universe has slammed the door on. Yes, you were in a long-term commitment. Yes, you were in a long-term career with an external force, whether that is this Aquarius Capricorn, this Aries Capricorn um, Virgo character, or you were in a long-term job which screwed you over and now you feel like you need to get that back. It is time for you to look at the bigger picture. Number one, Sagittarians always look at abundance and wealth. Now, it's the lucky sign of the zodiac for a reason, because it's able to move past the situations of heartbreak that have taken place in their life. And they're able to find opportunities where there are seemingly none. And that's what attracts things to the Sagittarius, is the fact that they're able to let go of the old and to welcome in the new. Sagittarius is always looking for new things, new experiences, journeys. They love to travel. I just got through with a huge 1,600-mile journey across Scotland and in the Pennines and everything. You need to look to the new. Set your sights on something new. Take your arrow and let it fly. into a new target in your life, something that you can see your sights set on. If this is at the emotional level, if you think that things in your life have been unfair related to relationships or with career, it's time for you to let that go. This is letting go of the old, the things which have hurt you, things that you felt are unfair. The sense of justice that you need to have is not the sense of justice related to this previous situation, but is the sense of justice by balancing the scales in your life. Okay, I cannot change what this C word did in the past, but I can take what I know now, learn the lesson. I'm getting hierophant in this. Learn that lesson and then use that to propel myself into a better future, one that I am more in control of. Emperor in the reverse, which is your challenge, learning how to become more in control of your life by not linking it to external things. Happiness, control, and stability are related to what you cultivate from within. And in doing so, you are able to make that manifest and materialize in the external. Rather than focusing on the external things that refuse to change or that cannot change your inner world, and that will in turn change your outer world. I'm going to give it a break there. Thanks again. This has been Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell so you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your energies, please get in contact with me by looking at the information in the description box below. Even if I have to do a Google form, I'm getting that done today and just leave that as the web page for now because I'm tired of letting that kind of waffle a bit. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Aquarius, I love you. Just please get to the point for the Aquarian that I'm speaking here. Get to the point where you're no longer obsessing about something which is already dead and gone. Do not be the weeping widow. You know, I think I may have mentioned in the past. Uh, is it the novel Great Expectations? Where you had the one character who was constantly mourning their, husband, and so she was just completely draped in gossamer in the entire time. Everything was old and gray and dusted in her house. I can't remember her name, the character from that, but I remember um, that was a character that keeps popping into my mind when I think of the Aquarian saga that we're dealing with. Anyways, leaving it there. Thanks so much. Love and light.